you're done with your classes at school and you're walking to reach your home, which is 1 kilometer away from your school. Meanwhile, you remember you have to buy a geometry box. So with the same speed, you start walking towards a stationery shop, which is just 500 meters away. While walking, you wonder, would it take more time for you to reach your home or the stationery shop? Let's find out. Hey everyone, welcome to Practically. We bring learning alive. So obviously, it will take more time for you to reach home than the stationery shop. Can you guess why? The answer is super simple. It will take more time to walk 1 kilometer than 500 meters. That is, more the distance, more will be the time taken to travel. Less the distance, less will be the time taken to travel. That means time is directly proportional to distance. In direct proportion, if one quantity is increased or decreased, the other quantity also increases or decreases respectively. Let us consider the two quantities x and y, and x is directly proportional to y. If the quantity of x increases, y also gets increased. If quantity of x decreases, then y quantity also gets decreased. And how do we represent when two quantities are directly proportional? We represent it as x is directly proportional to y. And to remove this proportional symbol, we insert a constant. So let us assume the constant here to be k. So we can write it as x equals to ky, x by y equals to k. So if you have some unknown values to find when two quantities are directly proportional, you can find like x1 by y1 equals to x2 by y2, so on is equals to k. So this is how we apply the concept of direct proportion in solving problems. But there are some situations where we see that one quantity gets increased, the other automatically decreases. One such beautiful example is of speed and time. Keeping the distance constant, if you increase the speed of the vehicle, the time taken to reach your destination gets decreased. But if you decrease the speed of the vehicle, the time taken to reach your destination gets increased. What does this mean? They are in inverse proportion. So time is inversely proportional to speed, keeping the distance constant. So what is inverse proportion? In the inverse proportion, when one quantity is increased, the other gets decreased, and one quantity is decreased, the other gets increased. Now let us consider two quantities A and B. So here A is inversely proportional to B. We represent it as follows. And to remove the proportional sign, again we insert some constant. Here let the constant be m. So A is equals to m by b. So AB is equals to m. So to solve problems, how do we write it? A1 B1 equals to A2 B2, so on is equals to m. Now we are done with the concept of direct and inverse proportion. Can you all think of some examples of direct and inverse proportion which we come across in our daily life? Let me start with the first one. The crop and the land. If the land area is more, the crop harvested is more. If land area is less, the crop harvested is less. And this is an example of direct proportion. So here is an exercise for all of you. Do think of examples of direct and inverse proportion and please do type in the comments. Let's meet in the next session. Bye bye.
Bring learning alive, practically.